Absolutely fantastic. From nowhere, that is definitely...
Okay, so what an epic race it was, and Sam Slater, he seems quite surprised too. Certainly came through and mugged everybody. Now we're moving ahead to round 2, heat 9, so only 2 races to go of this round of heats as we really get into the depth of the competition now. Now in this heat race we've got some big names as well. Heading the lineup there's Guillermo van Pamelen, there's Tyler Mays, there's Tobias Laub, Bartosz Grosek, Michael Zerb, Derek Jones, Harvey Baldumer, Lucas Neroda and Joe Hamlet. So Guillermo van Pamelen is going to be looking to get a lot of points out of this, but so is Michael Zerb. Zerb potentially the favourite, but expect a big battle there with van Pamelen, the youngster there. However, and we've said it before, a whole load of other people come in, not least of which is Tobias Lauber. Tobias Lauber, of course, was 7th in the World Championship, and Tyler Mays, we know, can do the business in any given track. The checker flag is coming out, the times are coming in. We'll see how that works out. Tobias Lauber is fast at the moment, but he's been beaten by Bartosz Grosek. Incredible performance there. Van Pamelen is only 3rd. Grosek's come from nowhere to nail him. And it's still Grosek, but he's been beaten by Michael Zerb. Michael Zerb has taken it. The road is a bit further down the order. Joe Hamlet has put himself in 6th, but and Tyler Mays is in 6th place. It looks a little bit low for Mays, but look at Michael Zerb. And what about Bartosz Grosek? That's not necessarily the result we were expecting from the Polish driver there, but a great by him. And we haven't even really, he's one of the few who isn't coming to this event loaded with championships and wins and races, but he's managed to make it into 2nd place. Michael Zerb. Spanners, it's going to be a tough one.
Right, is that your favourite, Zerb?
I haven't really got a favourite Zerb, but if I was putting money on one of them, it might be that one, but they're both very rapid, you know that.
Just seeing if I can generate some beef. It's one of the ways we keep ourselves amused.
Okay, so we do have Michael Zerb, not unexpectedly on the pole position, but Bartosz Grosek will not have been expecting that second, but certainly we weren't expecting it. He's obviously trying, and he's within a 10th of a second, in fact, less than, 300ths of a second from Michael Zerb. Tobias Lauber, 7th in the World Championship last year, Tobias Lauber, and he's come through into 3rd. Now, the real measurement of this is that those top 3 have had to beat someone of the calibre of Guillermo van Pamelen. He's been bundled down to 4th with Lucas Neroda, and Tyler Mays pushed to 5th and 6th. So this is really a tough one. Joe Hamlet there is another sort of newcomer. Rob Duma has won a BRKC race before, and he's languishing there in 8th place with Harvey Bull, who was running very fast in the testing and actually been very fast around the track leading into it, the local driver. And Derek Jones there in 10th place, looking to make some progress up the field too. But leading the way is going to be the Polish driver, Michael Zerb, and they're starting that move forward towards the start of the race now. So here comes Zerb leading the way. The marshal is just telling him to just back it off a bit, and then they can get this race underway. What they can't have is the field starting and stopping. So they're going green, and it's looking good. It's Zerb with the lead, but he's got the incredible Grosek behind him. Absolutely no real credential as such for Grosek. He's really putting his sterling performance here.
Big move by Duma there in the checked pants.
Yeah.
Down the inside of Hamlet.
Absolutely, and Duma has definitely moved up a place, and he's chasing after Tyler Mays now as they enter the backstretch. We're looking at the camera there, there's on Tyler Mays, and there's a gap, a little bit of a gap, and there's Rob Duma, who you just talked about, Spanners, as they come around this sort of final area here, and we can see in the distance there, they're working their way through. There's Rob Duma, there's Derek Jones bringing up the rear. So there's Derek Jones going across the line, but in the lead there's Michael's very dark colours on the Zerb that is Michael, who's in the lead here, as opposed to who we've seen win earlier on. And Michael Zerb is going to try and put another win in for himself too. A pretty good weekend so far for the Zerb family generally. And here's Michael leading the way here. There he is in the dark coloured suit and the dark helmet. But behind him, Grosek is hanging on second from 7th in the world last year. Tobias Lauber, the German from Guillermo van Pamelen, Dutch driver, very young Dutch driver, competes in, last year he was competing both junior and senior categories.
Well, Van Pamelen, last time I saw him, he was a foot shorter. He's grown a whole foot in a year.
Well, he's still young enough to be making those kind of height gains. He's starting to level out, it has to be said, but of course, we all remember in couple of previous years when Guillermo Van Pamelen was first appearing on the international scene, highly touted by the likes of Ruben Boutens, which has come to fruition. Someone in the pits for your Spanish.
Yeah, we've had an early pit here from Tobias Laub, and as well, big drama for Tyler Mays. Held up, of course, not the fault of the number 19 car, just unlucky that they've got there at the same time, so that's not ideal for Tyler.
Yeah, and you could see from the body language that I think when Tyler entered the pit lane, he really had no idea that Lauber was there. He came round the corner into the pit lane, saw Lauber stopped right in front of him, and immediately there was a wave of hands. So Tobias Lauber, quite unexpected to be found there by Tyler Mays, but Tyler Mays know it would have done some damage. However,
Duma into the pits.
There we go.
Skidding to a halt. That was aggressive and looked like it was timed perfectly. Yeah, great. Perfect stop. Perfect stop.
That was really chancy on that second part of the stop there. Those who recently joined us maybe haven't heard the conversations before. There are 2 stops to make in a single pit visit.
Yeah.
You stop at the beginning of the pit lane, you stop at the end. And Rob Duma, you know, he really cut it fine, getting going at the end. He was moving way before that green light was on. It was only because he had enough distance to the end of the box he has to stop in, and he kind of got away with it. Well, excellent stop there by Duma.
He gained a place on Tyler Mays there, which just shows you the difference. Tyler Mays, a disastrous pit stop where he had to begin and wait for another car. Duma nails it perfectly, and he's gained the position on track.
Absolutely, and what's going to be very interesting is where Duma is relative to Tobias Lauber, and Tobias Lauber is, he was an early pit stop visitor. So was Duma, and that's going to be something worth watching because Lauber was coming in right from the front of the field. Meanwhile, it is Scherb still leading from Grosjean. Grosjean's lost a bit of distance, fallen maybe back into the clutches of Guillermo Van Pamelen, and who is in third place as a result of the pit stop there by the German Lauber. And it is the road fourth. Now, Spanners, is that Tyler Mays all over the back of Rob Duma coming past you?
It is, yeah. So I think he's lost a place that he might have on pace, but Duma's earned that position in the pit, so that is now Tyler Mays' problem. Also, just looking at the back quickly, as Derek Jones finds himself in a battle as well, so they're scrapping up and down the field.
Yeah, Derek Jones, I believe, is going to be scrapping with Harvey Ball, I expect. Harvey Ball is running in front of him. Tobias Lauber is looking to close in on him and get ahead, but certainly at the front there we've still got Michael and then Grosjean and Van Pamelen. But if you look, Scherb seems to be getting a bit of an advantage. We can screen now. There's Scherb with a few kart lengths advantage, and Van Pamelen is now closing in on Bartosz Grosjean over that second place.
Yeah, it's down to like a kart length now, so it'll be interesting to see what Van Pamelen does as he closes. I just got slightly interested there in the fact that Duma and Tyler Mays are going to be catching up with that rear battle of Derek Jones and Harvey Ball, who haven't pitted and have no need to get out of the way.
Absolutely, and Guillermo Van Pamelen, of course, he's very much to watch. He was third in the World Championship for juniors last year, but he also, as importantly, was European junior champion in 2019 as well. So, that's just as tough, really, because it's the same people he's tackling. It's just he was first instead of third. So, Guillermo Van Pamelen, very, very competitive, and he's taking the fight to Grosjean now. He's caught up in their battle for second place. So Scherb continues on his way, as we can see, with a little bit of a lead now. Of course, and Van Pamelen has gone through to second place there. So there is Scherb we're looking at, but it's going to be Van Pamelen who appears behind him, albeit increasing distance behind. So there's Michael Scherb, and there is Guillermo Van Pamelen, who's made the move up into second place. Now, he's got to put the speed on now to try and close that gap to Michael Scherb. It needs to be a gain in speed on track, and then a very good pit stop if Guillermo Van Pamelen is converting this performance into a race win, because really Scherb is the one he's after. Scherb has got a good lead at the moment, and when he comes to Spanners, Scherb is going to be under increasing pressure to make a heck of a good pit stop.
Really strange, Duma just braking on the start-finish line. I don't know why. I might be mistaking actually for the brake screech of Derek Jones. Such a gentleman. I'll tell you exactly why Derek Jones just pitted. It's because he didn't want to interfere in a battle he wasn't involved in. I spoke to him a couple of years ago. He said his nightmare is to ruin someone else's race. Such a gent.
he's an established part of the scene now.
Certainly
yes, he's
is.
running at the tail, but he's he's got as much right to be here as anyone else. And if other people are making early pit stops and they feel like they are still faster than Derek Jones, it is part of the game. Derek Jones is somebody, he's running fast enough that they can't just dive past him. So it's not like he's super slow. He may be a bit off their pace, which is their problem. But what have we got? I thought we had Guillermo van Pamelen coming in the pits there, but no, he's continuing on. He does need to close in on Michael Scherb a bit if he's to offer a challenge later on, because the further he falls away from Scherb, the more comfort and conservatism that Scherb can put towards that pit stop.
It doesn't look likely, does it? It looks like Scherb has benefited from getting away early on. I can't see that gap closing. I mean, it's most of the back straight now.
Incredibly strong, incredibly competitive, very committed is Michael Scherb. And Michael Scherb actually has now, is that a back marker between him? I think Derek Jones is now between Scherb and Van Pamelen. And, well, that's all to Scherb's benefit. And Scherb's the sort of driver who can make this work. Now, there's someone in the pits there.
Yeah, there certainly is. That's Hambler who's come in, and he should come out comfortably ahead of the Mays-Duma battle. I think so, yes. So he'll be ahead of that. And Duma, oh, it's closer than I thought. Oh, he slowed. No. Well, something happened. He, missed his exit or something because he was jumping up and down to get the kart going. It looked like he had enough to get ahead of those two.
Yeah, he didn't quite do it though, because he got jumped by, among others, including Tyler Mays. So Duma and Mays certainly leapfrogged, and there's only actually in the result and on the road, Joe Hamlet has only got Derek Jones behind him. So Duma and Mays managed to leapfrog him coming out that position. It was close for Mays though. He did have to chop him across the front of Hamlet to get into the next turn ahead. But meantime, there he is, Michael Scherb, the Polish ace, leading the way from Guillermo van Pamelen. Guillermo van Pamelen is certainly always somebody to be reckoned with, but Dutch's Michael Scherb's pace that Guillermo van Pamelen probably is finding himself cancelled out, and will increasingly, I'm sure, be considering how many points he's going to be getting for second place. Still, the shock of the race has got to be Bartosz Grosek, and into the pits there.
Yeah, it's Harvey Ball, and he's going to be behind that Tyler Mays battle now. So overall, the Duma Mays train has gotten comfortably ahead.
Yeah, and he's lost to Hamlin, so he's down into 9th place as Harvey Ball. So behind 9th is Derek Jones, who we discussed earlier. Meantime, back on screen with Guillermo van Pamelen, and that is Bartosz Grosek. Now, Bartosz Grosek is the surprise, arguably, of this race. May not be so much of a surprise to him, it is to us. He's not somebody we reckon as running up that far, and certainly not running this close or this long to the likes of Guillermo van Pamelen. He's not really, we've spoken too much about in the past. Guillermo van Pamelen, obviously, other end of that particular spectrum. So as they go down the straight, we can see there that Bartosz Grosek, the Polish driver, he's certainly not being left behind. He comes here without any sort of major championship credentials to his name, and he's really putting on a great performance there to hang with Guillermo van Pamelen, who obviously, his list as long as your arm in terms of what he's won and what he does.
Ooh, he drives in Mazda RX-8. There's Grosek.
Yeah, but only on a track day.
Well, still.
It's non-competitive, Spanners. He doesn't actually have to prove anything,
well,
does he?
I'm
All he's
impressed.
got to do is be able to drive it home.
I'm impressed, James, even if you're not.
Well, there you go. Well, I'm impressed that he's actually staying this close to somebody of the calibre of Guillermo van Pamelen, because Guillermo van Pamelen, although he runs, does run in the junior, or has been running junior combined with senior events, he's very young, but he's also very, very experienced now. He's been racing at international level for quite a good number of years, probably a good 4 years now, and he's every bit as believable as a front runner as the likes of Johan Medard, Ruben Boutens even, and of course the current world champion Michael Schottler. So Guillermo van Pamelen, a very good measure with which to say that Bartosz Grosek is putting in an incredible performance.
Do you think everyone should be a little bit scared of Scherb for this year's competition overall?
I think everybody should have been scared as soon as we saw him on the international scene. Scherb arrived with a bang. He's been winning ever since he started at the top level, and wherever he goes, potential winner. So, a penalty for Tobias Lauber, and I'm not sure what that's. Certainly there, Derek Jones seemed to make a really wide run into the turn, slightly out of camera there, but we've just seen that Tobias Lauber, what was it? A bad pass. So Tobias Lauber has been nailed for a bad pass, and he was in 5th place in the battle with maybe the road, possibly, yes, possibly Naroda. So we'll be looking at him to give that back again, which he may well have already done so.
Yeah, it does look like he's yielded that place, but he's not happy.
He's waving about something.
Yep, that is the international symbol of, hey, what the fudge is.
Yeah, exactly. He ain't happy, is he? Is the German, but he's made the move and it's a clean one. He's looking good there. So wave again, and Tobias Lauber, he was 7th in the world last year, so you know the idea of somebody of his calibre struggling is is not normal. However, now we're looking on screen there. There's a great battle there. There's Rob Duma, Polish driver, versus Tyler Mays, one of the Brits. Now Tyler Mays, he's always traditionally a challenger, but does seem to be struggling a little bit this weekend. Pace is never a question, it's just converting that pace into result, and Tyler Mays at the moment is 7th.
Naroda's in that Duma pack as well, James.
Yeah, he has. He's gone way back, hasn't he?
Got number 20 coming into the pits now. It is Van Pamelin. He should come back out comfortably in the net second still, because he has nothing ahead of him on track. He's free to run his own pace. So that's a smart move. Got that out of the way now.
And probably the biggest factor in the rest of Van Pamelin's race is going to be what happens with the pit stop for Bartosz Grosek. Van Pamelin's stop was good. If Grosek is good, he's maybe got a challenger. If Grosek isn't so good, well, he's going to be home and dry for second place. Tobias Lauber has moved up into 4th place though, and so he's looking pretty convincing there. So there is Rob Duma, who's listed as 5th, and Tyler May 6th, but there's Ham, and there is Lucas Naroda chasing him. So the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th are actually closing into each other. So in fact Duma is getting pretty defensive against Tyler Mays.
He has been for a while, yeah.
So he's obviously feeling threatened by Mays. In fact, he's a bit of a defence line throughout, and that of course, yes, it keeps Tyler Mays back, but it allows Hamblet and Naroda to close in. That's the big risk. He might keep the position, but he makes it a 4-way fight. It could be actually to his benefit if he can cause Hamblet to try and be making moves on Tyler Mays, but then again, of course, he's got to now fend off 3 karts instead of just 1.
So you've got 5 minutes left in this race, and it's going to be a case of Duma hanging on, I think, ahead of that hack. But for the number 8, for second place, Grosek, it's just a case of hanging on in there, and just the longer he stays out, the more chance something can happen.
Yeah, I mean, he is actually losing time to Guillermo Van Pamelin. He's 2/10 of a slower, really, on that side. There's Jerb.
Yeah, it's the race leader into the pits. That is the fastest pit entrance I've seen from anyone. Smooth, didn't hit anything. That was something else.
Absolutely not hitting the wall was something, wasn't it? You know, that sort of pace coming in. We've seen people come in slower and still manage to slam
the pace he
into it.
came in, I was racing for some kind of big bang, but no.
Yeah, not only hitting the wall span, is probably feeling he was going to hit you at that speed. Anyway, it really is now to Bartosz Grosek. Grosek is putting laps in first place now as we speak. He is yet to pit, which is why he's in first place, but he is a contender there with Scherb and Van Pamelin. Probably more relevant to Van Pamelin than Scherb. I think Scherb is going to be home and dry with a comfortable sort of 3-second lead, but Van Pamelin, surely his race is going to be affected by whatever happens in Grosek's stop, to his benefit or demise.
Well, Loeb is right behind Van Pamelin, so he's... I don't know what's happening there. That is on track for position, isn't it?
Right, let's just have a little look at the screen and what's actually going on. We'll sort of reset with just under 5 minutes to go now. Grosek is still in the lead with that stop.
Contact.
Who are we looking at?
Contact between Van Pamelin and Loeb there. Sorry, I got excited and talked to you. I apologise.
Right, so Lauber there with... now, Lauber's already had a bad pass warning penalty. You know, he had to give the place back. He's obviously all over the back of Van Pamelin. He's kind of sneaked up on him. And he's now challenging Van Pamelin. Where on earth the Polish Grosek is going to come out of this, I don't know. But certainly Lauber, 7th in the world last year, is challenging 3rd in the world junior, which is Van Pamelin, and he's really going to make a move. Is he going to be Dan Baxter? Looking pretty racy is Lauber, the German.
And to be clear, Lauber has also pitted.
Yeah, Lauber, I mean, everyone's in except for Grosek, the leader, so he's who wants to come in. And look at this, Lauber is all over the back of Van Pamelin. Van Pamelin can't even make the slightest mistake because Lauber's going to jump on there. Lauber's waving already. He's like, look, come on, Mom. I don't really think that... I love Lauber's ambition of probably trying to get to the front in all of this. I don't think he's going to. He's got to make 3 ends up having passed Van Pamelin to Scherb, so I don't think that's going to happen. But he's certainly keen to get a move on. However, is that Gerb who's now closing in on? No, I thought Gerb was closing some back markers, which is not the case. But look at that tight battle there. Van Pamelen versus Tobias Lauber. So Tobias Lauber, as I say, I've said repeatedly, 7th in the world last year. There's credentials coming to this race, so we can expect a fight. 3rd in the world junior last year is Van Pamelen, who he's trying to take a place off. He's really looking racy. Look, he's waving away. He's almost like, come on.
No, but Van Pamelen's going defensive, and I think Lauber's trying to say, don't do that, let's go, because they do have to watch out for Grosek whenever he pops out of the pit.
Yeah, because Van Pamelen could easily lose time. Now, Tobias Lauber has got the fastest lap in this race, but that's half a second quicker of what they're doing now. So, really, he's probably feeling that in the kart.
I could do the maths on the gaps, but I want to be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to just be fun when Grosek pits. Now, Grosek's going to pit within the next 2 minutes. So Grosek is really leaving this one late. Going to be with you any moment soon, really, Spanners.
Yeah.
But quite when, I'm not sure.
So when we said, should he follow straight away in the pits, his waiting has given him the chance for that something to happen. And one thing is Lauber catching up with Van Pamelen and causing them both to slow. So that might well.
It would be absolutely stunning from Grosek's point of view if this defensive effort from Van Pamelen over Lauber, which could be argued is the most necessary defence, although we'll have a look at the lap time. Yeah, they're still sort of pretty good on lap times now. They've gone back into what would be a realistic lap time, albeit 2 lower than Sherber. But look at Lauber, he's all over the back of Van Pamelen, isn't he?
Yeah, it's really good to set pressure and how they're both going to react. I'm sure Lauber will be saying, we could have collectively been going faster. But Van Pamelen, I'd just be like, no, this is my place. That's it.
Yeah, Van Pamelen, I think he spent a lot of time, a significant distance, yet visible to Michael Sherber. And so I think from that, Van Pamelen has probably had 2nd place in mind, and that's not what he wants to lose to Lauber.
Here we go, it's happening.
Excellent, talk us through it.
Oh, here we go. So Greg's having a look, and that battle with Van Pamelen, it looks like they're more than clear, actually.
Oh, clear.
Well, wow. At least we created that drama, James. I think we did a good job there.
Yeah, and in fact, I thought the Polish driver Grosek was going to come out at least either alongside or close behind, but he's a few car lengths back, a little bit further back than I thought.
See, if we'd have done the maths, we'd have ruined that.
Yes, we would. Don't want to ruin it. So, plus, we could have ruined it more by the standard maths Spanners. But we're assuming we'd have been correct.
That's true. There's been an overlap on the back straight the last couple of laps between Van Pamelen and Lauber.
Yeah, Lauber does tend to go alongside back there. Through the hairpins, of course, there's nothing going. And Van Pamelen's so good on the brakes that Lauber's not able to really make a lunge down the inside. If he did, he'd just lose time. It'd be worthless. Of course, Van Pamelen's taking that very much defensive inside line everywhere now. He's just not interested in gaining time. He just doesn't want to lose position. But here you go. They're on the back stretch. It's by side down the back stretch, but it's still Van Pamelen. He's blocking off the inside. He's got it covered. There's half a minute in this race. So as Sherb now across the line, surely it's going to be the last lap or very close to it. 1 more to go. We'll see what happens next time through. I'll keep an eye out for that checkered flag. But there is the race for second. That's what it's all about in this race. Van Pamelen is holding off Tobias Lauber, 7th in the world lap. As Van Pamelen, 3rd in the world junior, is battling away to keep his 2nd place. That's all he's after, Spanners. It's 2nd place or nothing for Van Pamelen.
I think it is here. Actually, I'm trying to look at the timing screens as well and thinking, what could Mays have done if it wasn't for that early bad stop?
That is, absolutely right. I mean, that is, well, I think this race has been a bit of a right on Tyler Mays.
He's been stuck behind Duma the whole race.
It's been a struggle the whole way for poor Tyler Mays. However, Sherb is on his front now. He's got Van Pamelen fending off Lauber behind him. Grosek, incredible pole driver, is come through to 4th place. Rob Duma is 5th. Tyler Mays, we just talked about 6th. Hamlet 7th. Roder, Ball 9th, and Jones. But look at this. We're focusing on the battle end for 2nd. We know Sherb's going to win this side-by-side stretch. It's still Lauber. Trying to get past Van Pamelen. Now, what's he going to do? He's going to be aggressive. He's already aiming for his driving as Lauber, and he can't quite make anything work on Van Pamelen. And what a result there for 2nd place. We know Sherber won, but Van Pamelen got 2nd place. Lauber had Grosek 4th. Rob Duma, can he hold off Tyler Mays, or can Tyler Mays do something? There's Derek Jones taking place. Here is that massive battle. It's Mays behind Duma, but ahead of Joe Hamlet. The Roder coming through. Harvey Ball and Derek Jones already seen through. So he's gone a lap down, obviously, there, Spanners. So, Spanners, when they come in, it's all out of me. talk to, you know, see who says what. It's over to you in the pit lane now.
Thank you. I'm trying to get the attention of Michael Jerv to come and speak to me. Scarily fast there. Come and speak to me as well, to Van Pamelen too. But are we his sheet right? It says Lauber is German. Are you sure he's not Italian? Because he was communicating in dick hand gestures. I think this may be a typo. All right, let's have a look at them getting out of there. Tell you what, the seat that Van Pamelen is using, not quite the chunk that he had the last time we saw him, still pretty sizable, and having to use an extra big blue weight from the track well. But he definitely had the scrap. He definitely had the scrap of this heat, fighting for that second place. The threat that we thought was going to come from Grozek didn't quite materialise in the end, which left them scrapping. And I don't know, I wonder if we should catch a word with Lauber, actually, maybe if we can. Was it misplaced of him to try and work with Van Pamelen? I think he was chasing after, really. I mean, even if those two had gone faster together, in the end, all they really did was keep ahead of Grozek, which they comfortably did. So let's see if any of them want to come over to me. Once they get out of the karts, they all look similar, don't they? Because they're wearing black. Jerb should be easy enough spot in his dark visor. He doesn't want to come and chat to me. That's fair enough. It's fair enough. Scarily fast. Spoke to me last time. Oh, in fact, that is Lauber as well. Shook his head. Didn't want to speak. I think frustrated, stuck behind Van Pamelen. Come and speak to me. Look at the size of him. Now, wait, you stand there because you've grown, right? I want to go back to 2018 heights. All right, there you go. A bit of a struggle holding off Lauber behind you there. Great battle.
Yeah, he was faster than me, but I don't know what he thought. He pitted way too early, I think. But yeah, maybe it worked out for him.
I think he was wanting you to not be defensive, wanted you to go after them. But as far as you were concerned, that was just your place.
Yeah, I was just waving at him to go because there was another drive behind me. Yeah, I don't know how far we came in front of him. So
it was comfortable in the end, I think.
Yeah, but I didn't know when I was driving, so I was like waving, okay, let's go. But then suddenly I was looking behind. I was like right on my tail, and I was trying to pull a move over there, so I just went defensive. We also when I drove defensive, we still drove a 9, so
still had good pace. A brilliant defensive drive, fantastic. Thanks for speaking to me. Good luck going forward. Well done, buddy. Let's catch up with this rocket. You're stamping your name all over this competition. You look fast. You look devastating. Even in the pit lane entry, you took that at rocket speed. How are you feeling?
Well, of course, 2nd place is a good result right now.
Just good. It's great.
Great, but you know, my car now, if I had a better group, I think could be difficult to win. I have problem with the chassis. My pace wasn't the best, but still the 1st place is good.
Okay, well, 2 first places. Is that what you were expecting, or is this above your expectations?
Well, of course, everyone looking only for the 1st place, so we also would like to be in the top, but as we know, sometimes it's better, sometimes it's lower, but it's good.
Fantastic. Well, you're looking devastating, and you get another shiny medal as well. So well done, Michael.
Thank you.
Good luck. Fantastic. Not only, you know, one of the best victories I think we've seen, one of the cleanest victories. He looks frightening. He looks robotic. That's got to be one of the tips for the competition going forward.